All right, guys, I am so excited for tonight. All things Instagram. I'm so excited. We got on yesterday about TikTok, and tonight we're going to do all things Instagram. So we're going to have Jess and Adrian talk about consistency with posting on your stories. They're going to give you all their best tips because their Instagrams are amazing. And then we're going to pass it off to Lisa and Emily, and they're going to talk about all things Reels because Reels are popping off on Instagram. They're really pushing those. So I'm so excited for those. So I'm going to open this up to Jess, and she has the most amazing Instagram. So we're going to be getting the best tips tonight.
Hi guys, my name is Jess. So I figured I should kind of start this off with a little backstory because I was one of those girls who posted on Instagram like once a year before I started this opportunity. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're like that. If you're like social media, did not do that, but I joined it anyways, right? So that was me. Did not take pictures of myself, did not post. Stories were available, but I had never used them before I started this opportunity. And so I wanted to start off with saying that because you guys may already know my Instagram, or maybe after this Zoom, you may go look at my Instagram and you may be like, oh, well, of course she's saying all these things. She's always had it good. Far from the truth. Go ahead and just take a look. Scroll all the way down and take a look. I did not always have it that good, but I showed up every single day and I was consistent every single day. And that is truly key when it comes to everything in this business, but in Instagram especially. So whenever I started this opportunity, I was told by my leaders, because this was back in the day, I started 3 years ago. I was told you got to post every single day. And I was like, wait, what? I have to post every single day? I don't even post once a year. How do you expect me to post once a day? But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And that's exactly what I did. I figured out ways to make it work. And I did make it work. So now I'm going to talk about consistency, showing up on not only your feed, but your stories too, because I feel like sometimes we neglect one or the other, but doing both is key. So showing up on your stories and showing up on your feed is so important. When I say stories, I mean, yes, posting about the products, posting about the business, but then also posting about your everyday life. That is so important. We are people. Think about your favorite blogger, your favorite influencer. They're always plugging products. They're always plugging brands, right? But we are so obsessed with watching them because they share their everyday life. And we become obsessed with their everyday life, no matter how extravagant or how boring it is. We just kind of get that obsession, and we want people to have that obsession about us. So sharing your everyday life. For me, I have dogs that I absolutely adore. I share my dogs. I live in Florida. I'll go to the pool. I'll go to the beach. Find what fits you, and also share your everyday life. Share your food. Share the sky. Like, put polls up. Ask people questions. If you're going to Lowe's, I went to Lowe's and bought a plant yesterday, and I posted about it. And another key thing with posting on your stories and consistency there is showing your face. It is horrifying. Trust me, I get it. It is so scary to get on your story and to speak and to show your face. I wanted to throw up the first time I did it, the second time I did it, the third time I did it, but I kept doing it. Almost every single day, I will show my face on my story and I will speak to my followers. Maybe I'll talk about the business one day. Maybe I'll talk about the coffee one day or a product one day, or maybe I'll get on and talk about a plant that I just bought from Lowe's 5 minutes ago, right? There's no rhyme or reason of what you should be talking about, but showing your face makes you real to your followers. Showing your everyday life makes you real to your followers. That's what people want to see. They don't want to see a highlight reel of products and business and product and business and product. That's boring. They want to see your everyday life, and you fit the products and the business into your everyday life because we're normal people. So with that being said, showing up on your Instagram feed is so important too. My pictures were not perfect, and I'm going to have my girl Adrian talk about that after I get done. But posting on your feed consistently is so important. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people neglect, but I teach all of my girls 3 to 4 times a week you should be posting on your feed. Now, similar to your Instagram story, it doesn't have to be business every single time. Post your everyday life on there. If you have a lake day with the family, post your picture and say, had a great lake day with the family, or like a cute little caption. If it's you and your significant other, put a cute little caption. It doesn't always have to be business, but I have a public account and I'm able to see insights on how many people see my Instagram posts and how many people see my stories. The amount of people that see my posts versus my stories is like drastically different. Like 10 times more people see my posts than see my stories. So why would I not be posting on my feed, right? So make sure that's not something that you neglect, and don't be afraid, and don't think that, oh my God, you're the only girl on the planet that doesn't really post or use social media and you started this. That was me. I literally knew nothing before this opportunity, but I showed up every single day. And you know what? You're going to learn every single day. You're going to learn new things, new tricks, new tips that you come up with yourself. But it takes showing up every day on your stories, on your feed, doing all of the things. And now I'm going to hand it over to my girl, Adrienne, who's going to talk about the picture taking and the story making and the importance that that has done for her business. And let me tell you, she was down here in Florida like a month ago and she talked about this and I was like blown away. So I'm going to have you take it away with getting over the fear of taking pictures, especially in public.
Okay, awesome. Just to begin, forgive me if my voice squeaks or anything, because I've had some kind of weird cold, and it will, I promise you, it will squeak. But I was very much like Jess, which is also something that nobody ever believed, because I also never, ever, ever posted. When I started doing this, I had literally 2 posts up. They were family, like, pictures for Christmas. That was it. And so when I started doing this, and I was told that I needed to post, I was all in with this. And so I was already like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it work. But I was literally terrified to be posting, to the point where I was shaking so hard the very first time that I was taking pictures and then I posted, but I still did it. And like what Jess said, I think she said this, but I was very, very self-conscious as well when I started doing this, and I didn't have much confidence in myself. And that's also why I made myself start taking pictures more, is to gain that confidence, because there really is such a huge shift in your mindset and your confidence when you're taking pictures of yourself and when you're learning to love who you are and like just show it to everybody. So something that I just have to say is that you have to just make yourself do it, because you're never going to hit a day where it's like, okay, I feel like taking pictures today. Why not? So many days I do not feel like taking pictures. Actually, the other day I did not want to take pictures. I just wanted to go home and like go to bed and chill, watch Netflix. But I made myself take just like 20 minutes. I went outside and I took a whole bunch of pictures that I can use on my stories, on my posts, on everything. And another thing is that so many people are afraid to take public pictures, and that was also me. But the thing that you have to just remember is that half the time you'll never see them again, and the other half the time they're probably admiring you for having the courage to do it. Let's be honest. So now I take public pictures all the freaking time. And am I still nervous? Yes, but I do it. And the more you practice doing something, the easier it does get. So now I am to a point where I will be taking pictures in a crowd of people and I'll just block them out and I'll do my thing and it's fine. When I went to Florida, I took pictures on the beach. There were people everywhere. Did I feel uncomfortable? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I felt uncomfortable, but I still did it. And once you just get going, it's a lot easier. So that's what I would say with that. The other thing is that I've said this before on like to some of you guys, but the other thing is that it doesn't matter where you live, you can still find places to take pictures, because I live in Utah and I don't live in the pretty area of Utah with the red rock and everything. I live in the middle of like nowhere, where there's like, it's so dry, so dead, you guys. And so I used to think that I had nowhere to take pictures. My feed was not going to look pretty. I can't do this like Jess. I'm not in Florida with palm trees with beaches, but I found a way. Literally, guys, if you even just have like a field or a wall or Main Street or fences, there's so many little places. Half the time I'll go find a pretty flower bush and it's in the middle of like weeds or something, but you would never guess because it doesn't look like that. So even just finding somewhere like that, you can still make it work. And so yeah, just be yourself with it. Yes, get a tripod. I saw that comment. Getting a tripod helps a ton. There's actually an app called Lens Buddy. If you have a phone, you can use that and you can actually set it so that it can take pictures for you. Or you can use a timer, or you can use videos, and videos are actually cool and something that I have started doing more, because then you can also use the videos on your stories and on your TikTok. So it like knocks all those out all at once. So
I love those tips, and I'm definitely going to download Lens Buddy because I thought that was so great. And what I love that she talked about is like how she takes a bunch of pictures like in one day, and she could use that content all throughout the week. So you don't have to take pictures every single day. You could choose one day where you want to go out and take some pictures. If you have your tripod, yeah, change outfits, whatever you want to do, that's going to help you have content for the entire week. So I absolutely love that. And then also just having, like she said, like really good lighting, using a preset. If you want to act your enroller, like how do I get a preset if you don't know what that is? Basically, it's just going to make all of your feed have the same type of lighting, same type of aesthetic. So you got your pictures look nice and bright. So I'm going to go and give this over. Yes.
I wanted to add something also about stories, you guys. So we all are in shared albums, right? Which is amazing. And we have those stories to use. But I encourage you guys, whether you're new, drop a 2 in the chat if you just joined within the last month and you just got your products, right? So the amazing thing about our business builder kit is you get the products. So I want you guys to start taking videos of yourself using them, because you know what? I learned this from the very beginning stages of my business, but do people buy the products? Absolutely. But you know what they buy first? They buy you. They want to see you using it. They want to trust that, okay, if it's good enough for her to use, it's good enough for me to use. Are you going to feel awkward? Absolutely. Just like taking pictures or even taking pictures in public. It's going to feel awkward, but I want you can even chop your head off so people don't have to see your face. But I encourage you to start taking videos of you making the products, you drinking the products, you using the products, and making your own stories. We have a million different apps. I will go ahead and put some of them in the comment section whenever we get off, but we have Unfold, we have GoDaddy, we have there's a ton. Those are the 2 that I use. I literally will also use Instagram to put just the fonts on it and just have a picture of me. But showing up as yourself and showing yourself every single day, your followers get to know kind of like your vibe, and that when they see your vibe in stories, and then they see stories that maybe I created, which aren't your vibe, they notice that, right? And they want to be able to trust you, and they're going to subconsciously know that. So I encourage you guys to show yourself using the products, make your own stories. It's only going to make you better. And the better that you get, the more money that you make, and the more people you get to help change their lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. When I first started, I loved just putting my phone up on a timer and taking videos of me making the coffee. And it really did make so many more people say like, oh, Brittany, what are you drinking? Instead of just me throwing up a story slide of someone else's hand that is clearly not mine. But of course, we have that for you guys. But I really do encourage you to show your face, show yourself using the product. And yeah, I love those tips. So we are going to pass this on to Emily, and she is going to start talking. And Elisa, they're going to talk about Reels and give their best tips. They're killing it on Instagram too. So I am so excited. Emily, you could get unmuted.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
You hear me?
Yes, we do.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to talk about 2 things, very simple, and they go hand in hand. They're both really, really powerful. So what I've been doing for Host Post is something a little different on Instagram. So whether you've tried Host Post or not, if you haven't, this is something that you can start using like almost immediately. And personally, I love the way that I've been doing this. So really quickly, so I don't talk your guys' ears off and explain Host Post, I'm just going to go over exactly what I'm doing. Instead, when someone posts for me, normally on their story, like a picture that we already make, that's a template, I'm not doing that anymore. And honestly, from here on out, I don't think I'm ever going to do it again. And I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong way, but I have people just repost my Reels, and even within like the first week of me doing it, I have had like massive and massive and massive results. So that's what I suggest. And we've made a few video clips, Elisa and I, before here. We're gonna put it into like a board, kind of like what we did last night, so that you can visually see this and that we don't waste a ton of time on here. But for example, you can do this with any video. So if it's a giveaway video, that like a giveaway reel, a product reel, an opportunity reel, on my Instagram right now, I have 2 videos pinned to the top. One of them is non-business, me and my husband, and then the other one is like a business opportunity one, because that's just what I'm focusing on. So whatever you're focusing on at that time, pin it to the top and use that one. And you can unpin it, and you can always pin a different one for whatever you need at that time. Does that make sense? Are we all on the same page so far? Okay. And again, if you don't know how to do this or what pinning is, I also don't know if everyone has this feature yet on Instagram. I feel like we should, but I know sometimes our Instagrams are updated in, I don't know, a weird way. But like the 3 dots on the right of your video, it should say pin. It goes right to the top. Normal script saying like, hey, all I have to do is post this to your story and you'll get an entry. And again, I'll have the scripts in the boards too. And I still send a screenshot. It's like a screenshot. I'll circle the video pinned to the top, the exact one. Because sometimes, you know, people can be people. We're visual people. And then I have a screenshot picture, and it circles like I don't know what you call it. It looks like a paper airplane where you can repost it to your story so that they can visually see that. And I tell them to make sure that they tag me in it. And honestly, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you start doing this tonight, I promise you, you will start seeing results. And I don't promise often, but it's important. I feel like I'm forgetting something about that, but maybe I'll think about it in a second. So the last thing is very simple too. And you guys may be doing this already. I don't know, but I started using, and again, I don't know if everyone has this update, but when you go in your notifications, you can edit and sort your notifications on the top right to see only likes, only comments, only tags. So that's one thing I've been doing that's been helping me navigate through my Instagram a lot, especially when we get a lot of notifications. So one thing I'll do is I'll edit the filter to just the comments, and I will keep scrolling down there to see if I miss any. Another thing that I will do too is I will go to, let's say it's a giveaway reel, right? We usually get a good amount of comments on those. I will respond to the people like under their comment instead of going to their page. I know not everyone has that option, sometimes settings, whatever, but if you haven't tried this yet, I would do it. I've never been able to work so much quicker on Instagram than I have been lately, but also when you message them from the video, they'll know what video you're talking about, because sometimes you can't like get to that notification right away, right? So that's one thing that you could do. And you can also respond back to them in the comment right in the same place too. Super quick, very simple. All right, that's all I got right now.
Great. I love that. I actually didn't even know to do that to make people repost your reel. And I feel like that's so genius. So definitely start posting reels, guys, because those really are popping off on Instagram. And now with Emily's tip on how we could make other people repost them onto their story, that's genius. So Elisa, if you want to give some more tips on how you're posting your reels, what your best tips for that would be great.
Hi, yes. Okay, guys, so drop some fire emojis if you've gotten some value so far. This training is so amazing. I'm so excited to implement these tips. So one thing that has been working really well for me is when I post a reel, I make everything on TikTok. So what I do is I take the watermark off. I use Snaptic, and I know in the past there's been some issues with like the volume not lining up with the sound, but if you choose the second option in HD, it's perfect. Like the video quality is good, it's not blurry, the sounds line up. I have a screen recording that's going to be in the boards after this if that doesn't make sense. So there's that, and then what I do is I add a trending sound over it on Instagram. And I have a screen recording of that too in the boards. But basically what you do is you scroll on the reel page. If a sound's trending, there's like an arrow like pointed up, and that means it's trending. So you apply that to the video, you change the original audio to 100 and the trending sound to like 2 so that you don't hear it, but it's still applied. And that like is more likely to make your reel go viral pretty much. So that's been a fire tip for me. It's been amazing. And then also Instagram's been blocking videos if it has the watermark. So Snaptick makes it super easy. It takes like 30 seconds. But honestly, guys, drop a 4 if you have never posted a reel, or you're afraid of posting reels, or you're not consistent with posting reels. Because to be honest with you guys, like I was not consistent until about a year ago, and I am like still kicking myself in the rear for not being consistent sooner, because it's blown up my business. I used to think that you had to be like some perfect dancer or super funny, or just like I tried to be someone I'm not. And honestly, when I started just embracing my authentic self, like really, niching down, doing things that excite me and light me up, I started to find my people, and the people I've been enrolling from video content. Customers are more excited. Distributors are more my vibe. Like there's definitely a bunch of girls on here who are on my team that I enrolled from Reels or TikTok. Guys, like just do it. And I know that right now it's like 3 reels a day or more is like what you should be doing. But if that's not you yet, if you're not consistent with that yet, start with 1. That's what I did. I was super consistent with posting 1 a day. I made that my goal. And when I was able to do 1, I added 2 and then 3. And now I'm doing like as many as I possibly can because I'm excited. And the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. You're going to mess up at first. The words are not going to make sense. You might suck at dancing, like whatever, like you're going to fail. That's inevitable. But the sooner you fail, the quicker you're going to fail forward. So those are my tips.
All right, great. I thought that was so good. And I'm really just so excited to use all of these tips. And like she said, just post the reel, show your face on your stories, put it on your feed, post on your feed. And I'm just so excited for you guys. I think that's pretty much it. But let's go kill it in Instagram. And I'm so excited. Bye, guys.